Imagine this for a moment. What if aging wasn't a one-way street? What if, instead of just slowing it down, you could actually push it into reverse, using nothing more than a few simple movements, backed by real science that surgeons and doctors quietly recommend to their own patients? Stay with me, because the next few minutes might completely change how you think about getting older. Now, let me be very clear right from the start. Aging is natural. Wrinkles happen. Hair turns gray. Joints may not move like they used to. But what most people don't realize is that how fast we age and how well our bodies function as the years go by is heavily influenced by something we still control: movement. Not extreme workouts, not punishing gym routines, but specific, targeted exercises that send powerful signals to your cells, muscles, bones, brain, and even your immune system. Surgeons see the effects of aging up close every single day. They operate on joints that have weakened, hearts that have lost efficiency, and muscles that have slowly wasted away, not because of age alone, but because of years of inactivity. And many of them agree on one thing: the body responds incredibly well when we give it the right kind of stress, even later in life. You see, modern science now shows that aging isn't just about the number of years you've lived. It's about cellular decline. It's about mitochondria, the tiny power plants inside your cells, becoming less efficient. It's about muscles losing mass, a process called sarcopenia. It's about balance systems weakening, bones thinning, and inflammation quietly rising in the background. But here's the good news. Research from universities, medical journals, and clinical studies consistently shows that certain exercises can reverse many of these processes, not magically, not overnight, but measurably. We're talking about improved muscle strength, better insulin sensitivity, increased bone density, sharper memory, and even longer telomeres, the protective caps on your DNA often associated with biological aging. And the most surprising part, these exercises are especially powerful for seniors. In fact, studies show that people in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s often experience greater relative improvements than younger adults because their bodies are finally being reminded of what they're capable of. Now, before we go any further, let me say this gently but honestly. This is not about becoming a bodybuilder or running marathons. This is about reclaiming independence. Getting up from a chair without pain, walking confidently without fear of falling, sleeping better, thinking more clearly, and feeling younger, not just in your mind, but in your body. Over the next parts of this video, I'm going to walk you through 5 science-backed exercises that many surgeons consider essential for healthy aging. Each one targets a different aging system in the body, and together they form a powerful anti-aging toolkit that almost anyone can do with little or no equipment. But first, we need to understand something important. Aging doesn't attack the body evenly. It hits certain systems harder and faster. Muscle mass declines by about 3 to 8% per decade after the age of 30, and that loss accelerates after 60. Balance starts to fade as nerve signaling slows. Bone density drops, especially in women after menopause. Blood vessels stiffen, and the brain becomes less efficient at forming new connections unless it's challenged. The exercises I'm about to share are designed to fight back against each of these changes. Let's begin with the first one, a movement so simple that many people underestimate it. Yet surgeons often say it's one of the most powerful predictors of how long and how well you'll live. This is not running. It's not cycling. It's not swimming. It's walking, but done the right way. Now, walking might sound too basic to reverse aging, but science tells a very different story. Long-term studies involving tens of thousands of adults show that regular walking dramatically reduces the risk of heart disease, stroke, diabetes, dementia, and even certain cancers. But what makes walking especially powerful for seniors is how it affects the entire body at once. When you walk at a brisk but comfortable pace, your heart rate increases just enough to improve cardiovascular efficiency without overloading the joints. Blood flow to the brain improves, delivering oxygen and nutrients that support memory and cognitive function. Muscles in the legs, hips, and core engage in a coordinated rhythm, preserving strength and mobility. Surgeons often emphasize walking because it maintains what they call functional longevity. That means the ability to perform everyday tasks independently. In hospitals, one of the strongest predictors of how quickly a patient recovers after surgery is how well they can walk beforehand. But here's where most people get it wrong. Casual, slow strolling is nice, but it doesn't send a strong enough signal to the body to adapt. To reverse aging effects, walking needs intention. That means upright posture, arms swinging naturally, and a pace that slightly increases your breathing, but still allows you to hold a conversation. Science refers to this as moderate intensity aerobic activity. Just 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity, reduce chronic inflammation, and even increase the size of the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for memory, And if 30 minutes at once feels like too much, breaking it into 3 10-minute walks works almost just as well. What's fascinating is that walking also improves mitochondrial function. Remember those cellular power plants? When you walk regularly, your body creates new mitochondria and makes existing ones more efficient. That means more energy, less fatigue, and better overall resilience. Many seniors report that after a few weeks of consistent walking, they sleep deeper, feel steadier on their feet, and notice less stiffness in their joints. That's not coincidence, that's biology responding. Now, walking lays the foundation, but it's only the beginning, because while walking keeps you moving, it doesn't fully address one of the biggest drivers of aging: muscle loss. And that brings us to the second exercise, one that surgeons often insist is non-negotiable for anyone who wants to stay young and strong. But before we go there, remember this: you don't need to be perfect. You don't need expensive gear. You don't need a gym membership. What you need is consistency and a willingness to gently challenge your body. In the next part, we'll talk about a simple strength movement that research shows can dramatically reduce the risk of falls, fractures, and even early death, and it's something you probably do every day without thinking. The second exercise is something so familiar, so everyday, that most people never think of it as exercise at all. Yet surgeons and geriatric specialists often say that if they had to choose just one strength movement for seniors, this would be it. It's the simple act of standing up and sitting down. Scientifically, this is called the sit-to-stand movement, or a chair squat, and it might be one of the most powerful anti-aging exercises ever studied. Here's why it matters so much. Every time you stand up from a chair, your body recruits some of the largest and most important muscles you have: your thighs, hips, glutes, and core. These muscles are essential for walking, climbing stairs, maintaining balance, and preventing falls. When they weaken, independence disappears quickly. Surgeons see this all the time. After surgeries or long hospital stays, patients who struggle the most are often the ones who can't easily get out of a chair without using their hands. That single movement predicts recovery, mobility, and even survival better than many medical tests. Now, the science behind this is very clear. As we age, muscle fibers, especially fast twitch fibers responsible for power and stability, shrink and disappear if they're not used. This loss leads directly to frailty. But resistance-based movements, even very simple ones, can reverse this process. Studies show that seniors who regularly practice sit-to-stand exercises can increase muscle strength by 30 to 50% in just a few months. Bone density improves because the bones are being gently loaded. Balance improves because the nervous system relearns how to coordinate movement efficiently. And here's the beautiful part: you don't need weights. You start with a sturdy chair. You sit down slowly, keeping your feet flat on the floor. Then you stand up using your legs as much as possible. At first, it's okay to lightly use your hands. Over time, you try to rely on them less. The key is control, not speed. When you lower yourself slowly, your muscles work eccentrically, which has been shown to be especially effective at building strength and protecting joints. When you stand up, you're training power, the ability to generate force quickly, which is critical for preventing falls. Even doing this 8 to 10 times, once or twice a day, can send powerful anti-aging signals throughout the body, but it goes deeper than muscles and bones. Resistance movements like this also improve insulin sensitivity. That means your body handles blood sugar better, reducing the risk of type 2 diabetes, a condition strongly linked to accelerated aging. Hormones like growth hormone and testosterone, which naturally decline with age, are stimulated even by light strength training. And there's something else many people don't realize. Strength training reduces inflammation. Chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the hallmarks of aging. It damages blood vessels, accelerates joint degeneration, and contributes to brain decline. When muscles contract against resistance, they release substances called myokines, which act like natural anti-inflammatory medications inside your body. In other words, every controlled stand from a chair is like sending a healing message to your cells. Many seniors are surprised at how quickly they feel the difference. Getting up from the toilet becomes easier. Standing in the kitchen no longer feels exhausting. Knees feel more supported because stronger muscles take pressure off the joints. And perhaps most importantly, confidence returns. Now, walking and sit-to-stand movements take care of endurance and strength. But there's another system that ages quietly, and when it fails, the consequences can be sudden and severe. That system is balance. Falls are one of the leading causes of injury, disability, and loss of independence in older adults. Surgeons often say they can trace a patient's rapid decline back to one fall that changed everything. The problem is, balance isn't just about the legs, it's about the brain, the inner ear, the eyes, and the nervous system all working together. And if balance isn't trained, it deteriorates fast. That's why the third exercise is not about sweating or building muscle, it's about retraining your nervous system to stay young. And it's something you can do in just a few minutes a day. The third exercise is one that many people skip because it doesn't feel like exercise. There's no heavy breathing, no muscle burn. But surgeons and neurologists agree it may be one of the most important movements for protecting the aging brain and preventing falls. It's single leg balance. At first glance, standing on one leg might seem too simple to matter, but behind the scenes it triggers an incredible amount of activity inside your body. When you lift one foot off the ground, your brain immediately goes to work. Signals fire rapidly between your inner ear, eyes, spinal cord, and muscles. Tiny stabilizing muscles in your feet, ankles, hips, and core activate to keep you upright. This constant communication is what keeps you from falling when you step on uneven ground or turn suddenly. As we age, this communication slows down, nerve signals weaken, reaction time increases, and balance becomes less reliable. But here's the powerful part. Research shows that balance training can reverse much of this decline, even in people well into their 70s and 80s. In fact, some studies have found that balance exercises improve neural pathways faster than strength exercises alone. Surgeons often use balance ability as a quick assessment tool. If someone can't stand on one leg for at least 10 seconds, it signals a much higher risk of falls, hospitalization, and even early mortality. That's how strongly balance is connected to overall health. Now let's talk about how to do this safely. You stand near a wall, countertop, or sturdy chair. You lift one foot slightly off the ground and try to hold the position. At first, you might only manage a few seconds, and that's perfectly okay. Over time, your goal is to work up to 20 or even 30 seconds on each leg. What matters is consistency, not perfection. As you practice, your nervous system adapts. Your brain becomes better at processing sensory information. Your muscles learn to respond more quickly and efficiently. This is called neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself, and it doesn't disappear with age. There's also a surprising anti-aging benefit here. Balance exercises have been shown to improve cognitive function. Because the brain is actively coordinating complex signals, areas responsible for attention, memory, and spatial awareness become more engaged. Some researchers believe this is why seniors who practice balance regularly show slower cognitive decline. And there's another layer. Standing on one leg gently loads your bones in a unique way. This stimulates bone remodeling, helping to slow age-related bone loss, especially in the hips and legs, areas most vulnerable to fractures. Many surgeons recommend making balance training a daily habit, even if it's just a minute or two. You can do it while brushing your teeth, waiting for the kettle to boil, or watching TV. Now, walking builds endurance. Sit to stand builds strength. Balance training protects the nervous system. But there's still something missing. One of the most overlooked aspects of aging is how the body stiffens, muscles shorten, joints lose range of motion. Fascia, the connective tissue around muscles, becomes less elastic. This stiffness doesn't just cause discomfort, it restricts blood flow, alters posture, and increases injury risk. Surgeons often say that many joint problems aren't caused by bad joints, but by tight, immobile tissues pulling the body out of alignment over years. That's why the fourth exercise focuses on restoring movement, not force. It's about flexibility, circulation, and reminding the body how to move freely again. And no, it's not intense stretching. The fourth exercise focuses on mobility, the ability to move your joints through their full range without pain or restriction. Surgeons often say that mobility is one of the most underrated keys to healthy aging. Without it, even the strongest muscles or fittest heart can't prevent falls, stiffness, or chronic pain. One of the most effective and science-backed movements for this is a simple dynamic stretch sequence often called arm circles with hip rotations. It might sound basic, but it engages multiple joints at once: shoulders, spine, hips, and even ankles. This type of movement improves blood flow, lubricates the joints with synovial fluid, and stretches connective tissue, helping to prevent stiffness before it starts. Here's why it works so well. As we age, collagen in muscles and tendons becomes less elastic, fascia tightens, blood flow decreases, slowing nutrient delivery and waste removal in tissues. Gentle, controlled mobility exercises counteract all of this. They send signals to the cells that movement is safe, encouraging repair, elasticity, and better circulation. For example, research shows that older adults who engage in daily joint mobility routines experience improved range of motion, reduced pain, and even better balance. Surgeons often recommend mobility exercises before and after surgery because they reduce recovery time and prevent complications. The technique is simple. Start with slow, circular motions of the arms forward and backward while gently rotating your hips in a small range. Combine this with deep, controlled breathing to increase oxygen flow and relaxation. Perform this for 1-2 minutes in the morning and again in the evening if you like. Over time, you'll notice subtle but powerful changes. Reaching for items on a high shelf becomes easier, your posture improves, your shoulders and hips feel lighter, and everyday movements feel effortless. And the best part, this prepares your body to perform the other exercises more effectively, reducing injury risk and improving overall performance. Mobility sets the stage for the fifth and final exercise, the one that directly targets one of the most critical aspects of aging: your core. Not just the visible abs, but the deep muscles that stabilize your spine, support your organs, and protect your balance. A strong core is essential for preventing back pain, improving posture, maintaining stability, and even enhancing breathing efficiency. Surgeons often cite core weakness as a hidden factor behind many mobility issues and falls, especially in older adults. Strengthening it doesn't have to be complicated or exhausting. The fifth and final exercise focuses on your core, the deep muscles around your spine, pelvis, and abdomen that act like the body's natural support system. Surgeons often point out that a weak core isn't just about posture, it's a major contributor to back pain, balance problems, and even reduced lung capacity. Strengthen it, and your whole body functions more efficiently. One of the most effective and senior-friendly core exercises is the seated or standing pelvic tilt. Unlike traditional crunches, this movement is gentle on the spine, but still activates the deep abdominal muscles, the lower back, and even the hips. It trains the muscles that keep you upright, reduces risk of falls, and improves spinal alignment. Here's how it works. Sit or stand with your back straight, shoulders relaxed. Slowly tuck your pelvis under, engaging your lower abdominal muscles, then release gently back to neutral. Focus on controlled movements and steady breathing. Just 10-15 repetitions, once or twice a day, can make a noticeable difference over time. Why does this matter so much? Research shows that older adults who perform even minimal core strengthening exercises experience better balance, reduced lower back discomfort, and improved mobility. It also supports your other exercises. Strong core muscles enhance walking, chair stands, and balance training. In effect, it multiplies the benefits of all your anti-aging movements. And there's more. Strengthening the core also impacts internal organs and posture. When your core is weak, organs are less supported, your lungs don't expand fully, and your digestive system can even become sluggish. A stronger core helps improve oxygen intake, supports circulation, and keeps your body functioning like a well-oiled machine. Here's a tip many seniors overlook: consistency beats intensity. Even small daily practice of these 5 exercises, walking, sit to stand, single leg balance, mobility stretches, and core engagement, triggers what researchers call hormetic stress. This is a natural, mild stress that encourages your cells to repair themselves, become stronger, and resist age-related decline. When combined, these exercises address all major systems affected by aging: cardiovascular, muscular, skeletal, nervous, and connective tissue. They're simple, low cost, and backed by science, yet their impact is profound. Many seniors report remarkable changes after just a few weeks. Walking feels easier, joints feel more flexible, balance improves, energy levels rise, and even mental clarity sharpens. And remember, surgeons often observe these same benefits in their patients. People who stay active with these targeted movements recover faster from surgeries, fall less, and maintain independence far longer than those who don't. Now, if you put all 5 together, you create a daily anti-aging routine that can literally change how your body feels and performs without extreme diets, expensive supplements, or hours in the gym. This is the secret many surgeons quietly share with their patients: aging isn't fixed, it's malleable. And the right exercises performed consistently can slow it down, stop it, and in some areas, even reverse it. Let's bring everything together and see the bigger picture. These 5 exercises, walking, sit to stand, single leg balance, mobility stretches, and core engagement, might seem simple on their own. But when performed consistently, they create a powerful, interconnected system that fights aging on multiple fronts. Walking builds cardiovascular health, improves circulation, and energizes mitochondria, the little powerhouses inside your cells. Sit to stand exercises strengthen your largest muscles, protect your joints, and stimulate hormones that support muscle growth and metabolic health. Single leg balance trains your nervous system, enhances coordination, and reduces the risk of falls. Mobility stretches keep your joints and fascia flexible, preventing stiffness and improving overall range of motion. And core exercises stabilize your spine, support posture, and enhance balance and breathing efficiency. Together, these movements target the exact systems that decline most with age. They improve strength, stability, flexibility, and endurance, all while stimulating the body at a cellular level. This combination slows down cellular aging, reduces inflammation, and even supports brain health, thanks to improved blood flow and neuroplasticity. One of the most remarkable things about these exercises is how accessible they are. You don't need a gym, fancy equipment, or hours of free time. Each movement can be performed at home at your own pace and adapted to any fitness level. The key is consistency, mindfulness, and gradual progression. Even just 15-30 minutes a day can create noticeable improvements in energy balance and overall well-being. Surgeons and aging specialists consistently note that people who incorporate these 5 movements into their daily routine maintain independence far longer. They recover faster from injuries, experience fewer falls, and feel more confident in everyday activities. In other words, these exercises don't just change how your body looks, they change how your body functions and how your life feels. And here's a little secret: when your body feels strong, flexible, and balanced, your mind follows. Confidence increases, mood improves, and mental clarity sharpens. The process of reversing aging isn't just physical, it's mental, emotional, and holistic. So this is more than a list of exercises. It's a blueprint for reclaiming vitality, independence, and health at any age. It's a way to actively push back against the physical decline that often comes with getting older, and to do it safely, effectively, and scientifically. So here's the truth: aging doesn't have to mean slowing down, losing independence, or giving up on the activities you love. Science now proves that your body has incredible capacity to adapt, heal, and even reverse some effects of aging if you give it the right signals. By consistently practicing these 5 exercises — walking, sit to stand, single leg balance, mobility stretches, and core strengthening — you're not just moving your body, you're sending a message to your cells: you're not done yet. You're building strength, stability, flexibility, and resilience. You're protecting your brain, your bones, your heart, and your confidence. The choice is simple: stay passive and let aging dictate your pace, or take action and reclaim your vitality, one small, science-backed movement at a time. The best part? You can start right now. No equipment, no gym, no excuses, just you, your body, and a few minutes each day. Imagine waking up tomorrow feeling stronger, steadier, and more alive than you have in years. That vision is possible, and it begins with the steps you take today. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for motivation. Your body is ready, and your time is now. Take charge. Move smart. Reverse aging. Your future self will thank you.